Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Redlands. My name is Joe. I'm going to be leading you today on this guided meditation. Let me invite you to just join me in closing your outer eyes, taking a nice deep inhalation through the nose. Hold it for about 3 to 4 seconds. Exhale out the mouth. And feel all your tension being pulled from you, allowing your shoulders to drop and relax. Breathe in again through the nose. Hold for 3 or 4 seconds. Exhale out the mouth. As long as you can go, pulling all that is not needed outward. Inhaling all that is needed as you fill your belly. Extend and contract with your out breath. Just feel the rise and fall. Let us continue this pattern of breathing. Relaxed, with no strain, no struggle. Just allow your breathing to move and flow at ease, growing deeper and deeper with every in-breath. And every out-breath. As we focus our attention on our breathing, allowing our bodies to relax, growing calmer and more relaxed as we breathe, as we center ourselves in this place, in this space, in the presence surrounded by and filled with this power, this energy source, this intelligence. That I call God, Spirit. That is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. It is perfect, complete, ever-flowing, moving, creating and recreating. It is energy, pure potentiality. Know your alignment with this energy source, this power, spirit. Know body and your mind as a conduit of this energy source. You are the receptor. There is no denying this power, this energy source that vitalizes, energizes, revitalizes, and heals, producing anything and everything your mind energy impresses upon it. Feel it, know it, working within you now as we breathe. Let us be still and know. Our bodies are composed of tens of billions of cells, all working. Allowing our bodies to function. They move and flow in connectivity to this surrounding, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent source. As you breathe in, feel and see all of these billions of cells within you glow and grow brighter and brighter, being stoked like a fire, glowing bright, radiant, energizing and vitalizing. See this light, this energizing light from these billions of cells just glowing and brighter, illuminating all within. As we breathe out, that light flowing outward. This is the energy, this is the power, the healing power, the wellness power. It is good. It is source. It is supply. It is sufficiency. See it, know it, feel it now working. It's wonder. It's wonder. Keep your attention focused on your breathing. Allow any distracting thoughts. Do not resist these thoughts. Just Turn your focus to your breathing. And on your mind-body connection, allowing spirit to guide and work from within out. See it, feel it, know it. Let us breathe. Now detach from everything and just breathe. Be still and know. Just feel your breath. Connectivity to your center, your core, your heart, your shoulders. Let it all relax as we breathe. Allow your shoulders to relax and your heart to relax. With every out breath. Now, as we bring our attention back to this place, this space, Some of you may want to wiggle your toes, your fingers, stretch your neck. Some gentle movement. Just take another deep inhalation. Exhalation. Pull it all out. Let's do it 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. On the exhale, I invite you to open your outer eyes. And this concludes our meditation. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. God loves you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together, 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 come together in the name of love. We come together, nice, come together. We come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the love in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Here we make a joyful sound. Here we go. Let we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who you've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in the right place, the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, at the right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 So's yours. My soul is welcome. Oh, my soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. Getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Good morning, everybody, again. Your soul's welcome here. Gonna make it a great day, aren't we?
Because you all are welcome right here, right here. And good morning again. I am Berlin Garcia. No. Well, I could be, but no, I'm not. I am Eileen Messensen, and it is truly a privilege and an honor to welcome you to our Sunday celebration service. CSL Redlands is a new thought community living an ancient wisdom philosophy based on the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was developed in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes studied truths from all the world's religious traditions and spiritual paths and developed a fresh new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into our world. CSL Redlands is an open and inclusive community honoring all people from every background, all races, sexual orientations, gender expressions, and spiritual paths. No matter who you are or where you are on your journey of faith, you are always welcome here. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and our vision is a world that works for everyone, absolutely everyone. If you are here for the first time, the first time you've been at one of these services, would you raise your hand, please? We have one right here. We have a little packet for you. Thank you for coming. We hope you enjoy the service. We know that you have a choice for your spiritual community, and again, we are delighted to have you visit with us today. A gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and put them safely away so you may participate more fully. I have to go do that immediately. Okay. Well, we got some announcements. Now, last week I didn't read all those announcements because you do have them in the bulletin, but I did tell you to take them home and study them because there would be a test. But I'm giving you a break. There will be no test today. But I am going to go through these announcements because, gosh darn it all, they're very important. We've got a lot of wonderful things happening right here at this center. Absolutely. A 1-minute miracle. Our practitioners are available after service for prayer. And what can we know for your highest good? Our practitioners are powerful, and you may speak with them anytime you choose, if they're here. Sandwich Ministry needs your assistance. On your next shopping trip, please pick up an extra package of lunch meat and bring it by the center on Wednesday between the hours of 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. You can also bring it here on Sunday. We do have a locked, frozen vault that we put meat in and to keep them safe. So you can bring it here on Sunday if that is more convenient for you. The Infinite Way book study, hosted by Holly Bocanegra, is still in process. Absolutely, and I have it on good authority that this is a really wonderful book study. So you can join at any time. Holly says that each chapter stands alone. So if you haven't been here before, you haven't joined it before now, you may do so at any time. World Labyrinth Day, Saturday, May 6th, from noon to 4 p.m. Come celebrate this moving meditation to foster world peace and a celebration of the labyrinth experience. I think we've got that. It's going to be right in here. Who has walked the labyrinth? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have a few of us have walked the labyrinth. This is a very beautiful spiritual experience. So I encourage you to join us on that day. You're going to really like it. It's big. It's wonderful. The Metaphysical Fair is coming up this Saturday, May 6th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the back building, right back there. That's a lot of fun. There's good people here. We have readers, tarot, psychic. I think we had to have a psychic. I don't know. And we also have vendors selling wonderful things. And you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. Last time I think we had, and I always thought this sounded a little strange, but it was gong jobs. Somebody would give a free gong job, and that is something that they just gong over your head and all of this noise comes down over your body. It's quite experience. The Dream Band will be here next Sunday, and we all love the Dream Band. Next Sunday, you got to be here. Hindu Isha Foundation Yoga and Food Demonstration offering Saturday, May 13th. Recommended love donation is $10. Yoga for Success is from 1 to 2:15 p.m. and food from a yogic perspective is 3 to 4 p.m. If you haven't experienced our friends, our wonderful friends here that are part of this group, call it a group, they have made incredible food for us to share, and it is just so wonderful. And this is going to give you an idea of how to make it. CSL Redlands Rummage Sale, Saturday, May 20th, from 7 a.m. to noon. Donations of gently used wood furniture, tools, household appliances, and exercise equipment are being accepted for our annual rummage sale fundraiser. So bring your things, clean out your closets of the good, wonderful things, gently used, and bring them here and talk to Joe about how to get them stored until that day. Let me see. Oh, the feng shui workshop. You know, it says feng shui. If I'm saying, if they pronounce it feng shui, there should be a U in there. But they spell it F-E. I've always had a problem with that. Feng Shui workshop, Saturday, May 20th, from noon to 2 p.m., facilitated by Feng Shui Master Elnathan Nate Batoon, class $20. Visit to the Holy Land, Sunday, May 21st. The two Marys in the life of Jesus will be presented to us by our Reverend Suzanne Thomas Leonard. Suzanne, raise your hand. There she is. Treatment and meditation class is going to be starting up in June, and it will go through August sometime, June, July, and August, yes. This is going to be facilitated by Katelyn.
Yes.
And do you want to say anything about that, Katelyn?
Hi, I'm Reverend Katelyn, and Brother Mark and I will be facilitating it. Of all the activities that you've been hearing about today, what I want to emphasize is these are the foundational tenets of Science of Mind, learning spiritual mind treatment. It's a 5-step process, and though it sounds a little bit methodical, having steps in order to pray, it gives you a great foundation to pray from. And the steps very simply are: God is all there is, I am one with God, allowing yourself to be breathed in and as spirit, giving thanks in advance, realizing that it's already done, and then releasing it to that highest good. It's very powerful. It's a tool that's invaluable, and you'll use it both in your own treatments for your own life manifestations and those that you love. And the class will also be incorporating meditation. Okay, thanks.
Very good. Thank you, Reverend Katelyn. People who are not familiar with our philosophy often hear the term spiritual mind treatment and they go, oh my goodness, what are they going to do to my brain? That is affirmative prayer. It is affirmative prayer, and it is powerful. It is powerful, and she and Mark are excellent teachers. Coming soon, Beatifique, a spoken word poetry beatnik, boogie nights gathering. Friday nights beginning June 9th to August 25th. There is a little flyer in your bulletin. Check it out. 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Cover charge $10 for general admission, $5 if you are an orator. Summer Nights Drumming Circle. I don't know about you, but when I hear the word summer nights, my mind just takes off. I hear soft, I feel soft breezes, warm breezes, night blooming jasmine, but I digress. Okay. Summer Nights Drumming Circle, facilitated by shamanic Reiki drumming master Debbie Nuzio Duro. $20. Advanced registration is highly suggested. There's a sound bath and a cacao ceremony. That is really quite a wonderful experience. So I encourage you all to then listen to all of these announcements, take them home, study them. Oh, I have one more thing that's very important, and it is about something Holly wants to tell you about.
Okay, so right after church,
Yep.
we're going to have
They can't hear you online,
Okay,
Holly.
right after church today,
right after church today,
you say it, I'll repeat it.
2 speakers from the city of Redlands are visiting us today right after service.
Today, right after service, 2 speakers from City of Redlands will be here, and they will speak to you about
Water conservation and recycling,
water conservation and recycling.
and it's short and sweet.
Short and sweet. So I encourage you to stay just for that short bit of time, because there's some really, really good information. Now, I have really dragged out the welcome and the announcement, so I bid you goodbye. Oh, you're so welcome.
So just take a breath. Release it slowly. This is the time for the centering music, and even without music, we can center. But sometimes music helps us a little bit. But sometimes silence is great too. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. I awake to these precious moments when I hear what could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find peace. I find myself in the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. I awake to these precious moments when I hear what could never be said, and right here in that holy silence I find peace. I find joy. I find love. I find myself.
Thank you, Al. So those two doors that you enter coming into our sanctuary, there's a sign above. Some of you may have seen it. It says, change your thinking, change your life. At Centers for Spiritual Living, this is our mantra. This is our message. And all centers around our thoughts and our thinking, our conscious mind. Our conscious mind, our thoughts, are harnessed by a higher power, this universal power we often speak of. But the mind also is our subconscious mind. And that becomes the point where our conscious mind trickles down to. And that becomes our inner programming, our storehouse. And everything that we demonstrate in our life is a result of this inner programming, these thoughts, the combined working of conscious and subconscious mind, the male and the female, so to say. And so this universal intelligence and this power that we harness at our will is all grounded in our thoughts, subconscious, that outwardly manifests into everything that we experience in our lives. The thing to keep in mind is that this law is impersonal, and it can go either way. So we look at the good, we look at these spiritual principles of love, peace, joy, beauty. That is the natural order of all things, and it's demonstrated by everything you see all around and in each and every one of you. Let us be still a moment. Recognizing, knowing that this power, this presence, this universal mind that I call God, and you may choose to call it whatever it calls upon you to call it. But I know that this law operates all around and within me, working from within out. It is a force, a benevolent force of good. Its nature is love. Its nature is beauty, creativity, power for more and more good. I know that I am an incarnation of this spirit that I call God. Spirit made flesh, an outward expression of the Most High. And I declare this truth for each and every one in this sanctuary, and each and every one watching online. Knowing that we gather here today to share in this power, in this knowing, in this truth that sets us free from all limitation, from all ailment, all things that run counter to it. I know the power of a single thought has miraculous healing power. And how grateful I am for all those here today and watching online that continue building upon this power and this intelligence and this universal mind that only each and every one of us collectively and individually harness and know, expressing outwardly all the good there is to know. How grateful I am for David over there in our sound booth, keeping us technologically proficient, to all of our volunteers, to our board that keeps us running and operating, working through and moving through any false beliefs of limitation, scarcity, because we know that this law of abundance and reciprocity is always working and attracting more and more good. As our vibration beams out from within this sanctuary to all those viewing online, out into the world, clinging and attracting all those receptive to it. This vibration, this power, this source opens us up, makes us receptive to the message to be delivered here by Reverend Katelyn O'Connell. How grateful I am for the music of Al Yankee and Gilman Carver that blesses us with its own beautiful vibration and power. I can only express gratitude to these blessings bestowed upon me, bestowed upon all of you. Praise be. So it is. I have a couple readings today. One is from a woman by the name of Elizabeth Rowley. This is who posted this on Facebook. called Shining Eyes. And it starts with a quote from Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come. The conductor of an orchestra doesn't make a sound. A person's success depends on their ability to make other people more powerful. When Boston Philharmonic Orchestra conductor Benjamin Zander discovered this, it changed everything for him. He realized that his job was to awaken power and possibility in other people. He found the way to gauge his success was to look into their eyes, and if their eyes were shining, he knew he was doing it. If their eyes were not shining, he would ask himself, who am I being that my players' eyes are not shining? What a beautiful way to move through the world, taking responsibility for how we affect those around us with our thoughts, words, and actions. Is who I am being causing eyes to shine? Also, a good reminder that we have the power to kindle the light in others. And here's one called The Science of Mind Yourself. O weary heart, laden with earth's weight and care. O feet stumbling on the way, bleeding and bare. O arms outstretched and hands upheld in prayer. O back, which so oft has left the lash and rod. O soul, which cries aloud. O life, struggling to free herself. Know this, there is no power from without. Yourself must answer every fear and meet all doubt. With some divine indwelling power, which yourself upon yourself shall shower. And giving, take, and taking, give, unto that life which you yourself shall live. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Beautiful as always. Oh, the games people play now, every night and every day, never meaning what they say, never saying what they mean. Anybody identify with that? While they while away the hours in their ivory towers, till they're covered up with flowers in the back of a black limousine. Whoa. La da 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 dee, la da 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 dee. Talking about you and me, the games people play. People walking up to you, singing glory, hallelujah. They're trying to sock it to you in the name of the Lord. Whoa, gonna teach you how to meditate, read your horoscope and cheat your fate, find the love instead of hate. Well, come on, get on board. Whoa, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Talking about you and me and the games people play. Whoa, and the games people play. Whoa, well, look around and tell me what you see. What's happening to you and me? Grant me the serenity to just remember who I am. Whoa, 'cause I'm giving up my sanity for my pride and my vanity. Turn my back on humanity, and I don't give a damn. Whoa, like da 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 dee. Talking about you and me. Whoa, the games people play. Whoa, oh, the games people play now. Every night and every day now. Never meaning what they say now. Never saying what they mean. Whoa, while they while away the hours in their ivory towers, till they're covered up with flowers at the back of a black limousine. Sing it with me. La da 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 da. La da 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 dee. People talking about you and me, and the games people play. Whoa, la da 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 da. La da 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 dee. People talking about you and me, and the games people play. La da 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 da. La da 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 dee. Talking about you and me, and the games people play. Whoa.
Any more perfect. Thank you. Great. Hi. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Katelyn, and my catchy little sermon title today, or I think it's catchy, Spirit downloaded it, is pertaining to exactly that, the games that people play. Distraction, projection, and the emotional shell game. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is as it pertains to vulnerability, which is actually what the Home Office would love for me to talk about today. We've been talking about it for the whole month, and this is a different aspect of it as I see it. A therapist once said to me, Katelyn, not everybody's cup of consciousness is big enough to hold all of who you are. And I really had to chew on that. Because here I was, wide-eyed, jumping, loving God out loud, and willing to open up my heart to anyone I encountered, because I was working on my vulnerability. And it took me quite a while to work on my vulnerability. Many of you have heard me say in the past that the very word was like a the. I couldn't even articulate it. I got the power of who I am. I got the love of who I am and the commitment of who I am. But the piece that at that time was a struggle for me was that all that wouldn't be accessed unless I was willing to be vulnerable, unless I was willing to be teachable and block my nose and step into the unknown. So, today's topic, what comes up for me, is that in our cultivating vulnerability, we also need, as I see it, to cultivate our spiritual discernment, where we let that big, bright, shining expression of who we are, where we let it express, and to be discerning about the people that can graciously receive and appreciate that full expression, and those that feel entitled to it or perhaps even take advantage of it. So, one of the things, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on the problem as I see it, I want to talk more about the solution, which is the spiritual discernment, but this whole idea of the shell game. For anybody who's not familiar with what the shell game is, it comes from old carnivals, many years ago, where there were a minimum of 3 shells being moved around in various directions. and there was something hidden under one of the shells. And the person who was orchestrating it would say, okay, stop, and you were supposed to remember what was under the shell, which shell, rather, the item was under. But they were so adept at the game of distraction that 9 times out of 10, you couldn't guess, correct? So David and I were also looking at a little piece of footage that he had seen that it reminded him of when I was talking about the topic for today. And he said, Katelyn, this is exactly what this is. David, can you cue that up? Yeah? Okay. So, for the purpose of distraction, the whole intention in remaining vulnerable is there can be all kinds of busyness going on in the world of circumstance and condition, but we have to keep our eye on the prize. We have to keep our eye on who we are as our unwavering divine self. So this is an attention test. You're going to follow the instructions really carefully. Follow the instructions carefully.
Attention.
Okay, here we go.
Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
Okay, I want to emphasize that. Watch only the people wearing white, and watch how many times they're
Passing the basketball.
How many passes did you count?
Anybody? Excuse me? Sorry? Hello.
The correct answer is 15 passes.
Yes, there was a gorilla.
But did you
So
see
how
the
many
gorilla?
of you noticed the gorilla? A couple. A couple. I think it's a really great illustration of the power of distraction. It's like while other stuff is moving around,
This video is from research.
it's easy to lose track of what it is that you're about in that moment. And people will use that when they are deflecting accountability, generally. When somebody doesn't want to take responsibility for their part in something, we've all encountered these people. They will change the subject, right? They'll move to something else, or there'll be a visual distraction, a something to get you off of the topic at hand, which in most cases requires that person or group of people to step up and take accountability, all right? So that's how distraction works. Projection is when, again, somebody doesn't want to become accountable or responsible for their actions, and what they do is they project what's going on internally in them outwardly at you. Anybody ever have that experience? Right, where you're like, wait a second here, that's not what happened. And so you find yourself questioning your own interpretation of reality because somebody else's spin on it is so seemingly opposite from yours, is that you begin to not trust yourself. And that happens a lot in families. Like, I know when we get together that if somebody brings up a certain holiday, right? My recollection of that holiday could be night and day, generally from my sisters, because we're kind of night and day about most things, but our interpretation of that day is very different because we're seeing it from our own purview. So what happens is we have to step back, get some objectivity, widen our purview in order to broaden our perspective. And so oftentimes when we've had traumatic experiences in our lives, and they say time heals wounds, right? The reason that that is true, to whatever degree it is because with time and distance, we have a clearer, less reactionary perspective. We're less reactive and we're more responsive. So, one of the things that I want to talk about is, and this is from Don Miguel Ruiz from the Four Agreements, for those of you who are familiar with it. And he talks about when we accept other people's emotional poison. In the program, I listed it as other people's stuff. There are other terms for that. Pardon me? I'm sorry, what? Okay. All right. I don't often think I need a mic, so, okay. When I accept the emotional poison, okay, other people's stuff, these are all the different ways that it's debilitating to me. I begin to personalize things. I lose my objectivity. I'm reactive versus responsive. I become defensive because I see myself as being attacked. Therefore, I have to attack back. And it is the beginnings of germinating a consciousness of separation, a you and me, a them and us. So you see where that can happen? Is that when we accept other people's interpretation, particularly when things are being projected at us in a way that's blaming us, shaming us, guilting us, and we accept it and we internalize it, we then hold on to that emotional poison. And so say that emotion that we're harboring is anger, right? Anger directed within manifests as depression. So even if we're not outwardly expressing our anger, it's still doing a number on us on an emotional level, on an internal level. Whoops. Okay. Like I said, David. Like I said. Okay. No. What I want you to see is there's a chart on emotions. And it was done by Abraham Hicks. Now, Abraham and Hicks, long story, it's a channel. They're a union, a spiritual union, and Hicks channels Abraham. So, these are some of them. You can look at some of these charts after the fact when we're finished today. These are the stages that we have that are our emotional responses, our emotional triggers. So when you look at the top, they start with joy, knowledge, freedom, empowerment, love, appreciation, all the good stuff, passion, enthusiasm. When you start getting down to about number 7, you become bored. And then pessimism seeps in. And it's a downward spiral. So, my point where emotions are concerned is that not that we don't have emotions, but we don't allow our emotions to have us, to consume us, to take over, so that we are triggered by those people who want to get their stuff all over us. Clear? So, beyond the mind chatter, which is often associated with past experiences that we've had, beyond the emotional triggers, is the truth. Divine truth, with a capital D. And that divine truth is that we are indeed all one. And that we are indeed whole, perfect, and complete. And that there is no blame, per se. We're just both navigating this life thing and doing the best that we can. So, the point in all of this, in deflecting the OPS, other people's stuff, is that we have to anchor in our own divinity, in our own changeless truth. And in those situations where we are the most vulnerable is when we need to stand the firmest in that truth of who we are. So that that stand is unwavering when people's stuff comes up. I changed my topic this week because I had several different things that came up that were pertaining to this subject. One of which was my nephew who called me for counsel because he was navigating a situation with a messy roommate. Now that may seem, menial today in adult life, but it's not when you're 26 and you've got 4 people trying to cohabitate in a tiny little space, and this person is really, really pushing everyone's buttons. But because another of the characteristics that goes with that kind of person that wants to do the projecting of accountability is bullying, this person has managed to establish a tone within the home environment where they're all walking around on eggshells and fearful to approach this person. So, do you see how powerful and seductive that energy can be, even when it's not ours to carry? It's difficult to deflect. So I encouraged him to write a letter, right? He'd be less reactive, more responsive, and to get together with the other 2 roommates and to express what their concerns were, and to do it more in an invitation to get together and powwow and come up with some resolutions that were for the mutual highest good. How the person heard that letter was an attack. Though I promise you, when he read me the letter, it wasn't coming from that place. But this person was so accustomed to, when being challenged on their own accountability, deflecting, that she went to attacking my nephew, and even resorted to character assassination, which is another of the devices of a person who wants to deflect responsibility. You guys have heard me say that, I have an estranged relationship with my sister since my mom passed. And what I recognize is that because, around 12-step program, and I spent many years in Al-Anon, many years from the time I was 17. So it's a lot of my foundational spiritual teachings. And we were taught that family pushes your buttons because they install them and they hide the directions. That would be my sister. That would be my sister. So pretty much she knows how to go in for the kill. She knows the things to say and to do to get at my most vulnerable places, my Achilles heel. She's practiced at it. She's accomplished, and based on our general rapport until many years ago when I challenged it, she was the bully and I would cower. By cower, I mean I would shut down. I would get quiet because I don't like confrontations. The fact that I didn't like confrontations was my Achilles heel, because that meant she could probe deeper and deeper and deeper, and I would shut down more and more and more. So what I'm talking about, and we'll leave it at that, is that I'm not assuming today to say that there are good people and bad people in this. But what I am saying is that there are learned behaviors that on the path to owning the power of our vulnerability, with it comes the charge that we have to master spiritual discernment. We have to master who we allow ourselves to engage. And are those people a safe space for us? Or is that manipulative behavior going to get under our skin to the point where it's going to be debilitating to us? Are there times in life where, like me right now, we have to take a big time out from certain people in our lives that trigger us because we recognize we're not as thick-skinned as we might be at another time, and that we might not be able to effectively deflect other people's stuff because we're overly vulnerable and sensitive at those times. So, what I've talked about basically is the grift, okay? The con, the schmooze, lots of words for it. But what I'd like to talk about now is, so what do we do about it? What do we do to keep ourselves anchored so that we can deflect other people's stuff? Another part of the title to my sermon that came through me was, is the weight of the world that I'm carrying mine or other people's stuff? How much of what we carry, what we internalize, is the emotional load or the psychological spin of other people's unresolved stuff? So it's really important that we reckon with that, because let's face it, life's challenging enough with our own stuff, let alone carrying somebody else's. So some of the strategies are ones that you know, but they bear repeating. The first is be still, right? So all of this stuff is pummeling at you. What do? You be still. You be still and you know that I am. Now, for some of you who know that phrase, it starts off, be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still and simply be. You know why that is? Because it takes us a while to get there. We got to break it down. We can't, most of the time, in the midst of the chaos coming at us, stand firm and know that we're the eye of the storm. So we can get there gradually. Sometimes it's a mantra, be still and know that I am. I am the presence of God. I cannot be moved. Be still and know. Be still. Simply be. And with each increment of that, we can anchor more solidly in that steadfast knowing, so that stuff coming at us doesn't stick. It rolls right off. Okay, so that's one of the techniques. The other is the breath. Never minimize the power of the breath. Because the breath is a grounding. It's a place of bringing mind, body, and spirit together. And a mantra that I have often when I'm meditating is, especially if my mind is cluttered, all that I am as body and mind, and by that I mean intellectual mind, rides on the flow of the infinite breath. All that I am as body and mind rides on the flow of the infinite breath. Therefore, I am riding at all times on the breath of spirit. Prana, the infinite life force, is fueling me at all times. And so because that source it's breathed before we came and it continues breathing after we leave this earthly realm, it's our energetic vibration. When we tap into that, it's amazing the stillness that can wash over, especially the physical body. And then there's a softening and a heart opening and a releasing of cluttered minutia that we don't need to be carrying anyway. So the breath is another of those techniques. And then the other is mindfulness. And again, you can all take a look at these charts closer after service. What mindfulness is basically to be able to witness the stuff that's going on from a consciousness of witness. Remember I said at the beginning, like, we have to, as time passes, we have increased perspective, right? Time and space give us perspective. Mindfulness is about space. When I step away from the chatter that's going on in the human experience, I'm more objective. I can see from a clearer space. Again, I'm less reactive. I'm more responsive because I'm clearer of thought. And I can consciously choose to embrace the thoughts that are unifying when that seeming other appears to be attacking me. Because again, it's perception, right? Okay, so with mindfulness, we're witnessing our thoughts from the outside And then we're able to discern which thoughts to embrace and which ones to get rid of. That's the objectivity that we get that provides us with response. Mindfulness is an amplified state of consciousness. It's a process of deep listening to God's thought as the guiding voice behind the mindless chatter. And you hear that still small voice within that expression? That's what this is. Everything about spiritual discernment is about tapping into intuitive knowing. And we all have it. We all have it. Doesn't mean we always pay attention to it. I mean, I always tell a story about when I decided to marry somebody. And I met him at a grocery store, 3 a.m. after a gig singing that night. So I was all happy and all whatever, and I met him at the grocery store. And he was hot. He was like a surfer dude. He was really tan, and he was hot. He was hot. Not particularly intellectually stimulating, which does matter to me, but it didn't at all. And I was like woozy. And I kept getting an inner voice saying, you're not attracted to this. This isn't, this isn't your guy. This isn't what, but man, all I know, I married him in 3 months. 3 months. Now, this is from somebody who wasn't going to get married her whole life. It was not a consideration to me. So you think maybe it was clouded perspective when I made that choice? You think maybe the ego seduction of what he looked like, because he was hot, took over my rational thought? It's not like God went anywhere. The whole time I'm getting these messages, go home, it's 3 a.m., walk away, you're tired. I didn't pay attention to any of it. Stayed up all night talking to him. And the rest is history. So, we all have those pivotal moments where our intuitive knowing sometimes is screaming for recognition. But if it's God's will and my opinion on it, sometimes my opinion prevails. And more often than not, I kick myself for it after the fact. Not during, after the fact. Okay? So there's more here on mindfulness. And the last thing I want to talk about is spiritual discernment. Okay, so by definition, spiritual discernment, to understand or know through the power of spirit. It can be revealed through dreams, visions, insights, premonitions, prophecies, auditory messages, which is what I receive, feeling tones, just an undefined sense of I know that I know that I know. It's just a constant. And it goes on and on. Characteristics. When we're downloading spiritual knowing, it's generous. It's not just about self. It's open. It oozes a freedom from attachment. It comes from a place of reflective prayer. You have a sense that it's a knowingness that came to the knowingness through reflection and contemplation. It's aligned with the highest good. That's really key. And it has the clarity to distinguish the ends from the means. Okay? So if the voice that we're hearing is oriented toward, a new car or a fabulous apartment or whatever it is, if that's the primary voice, that's ego. That doesn't mean that ego can't want those things for us, but it originally comes from a far more anchored and more all-encompassing place. Okay? Pay attention to the messages from your heart, for they're louder than the mind chatter or the emotional outbursts. The heart is the link between body and mind, instinct and inspiration. Here we find discernment in the light of love, So the goal is to maximize love and to minimize fear and a sense of separation. So that's how you tell. Thank you. That's how you tell if it's the real deal or you're willing those messages to come forward. Is it indeed for the highest good, and are you unattached to the result? Clear? Yes? Okay. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Because in your program we have a little snippet. I put a quote in there, which I really like. You also have the emotional chart, which I think is just invaluable. You'll use it for lots of things, for your own inner inventory and for the people you encounter. Because chances are, if somebody's really triggering you and you find yourself plummeting down on the emotional scale, it's because their stuff is getting to you and moving you to a place of reaction rather than healthy and clear response. So I urge you to use those. And then we also have the lyrics to It's in Every One of Us. Is there anybody here who's familiar with that? It's a real come up here, baby. Yes. It's in every one of us. I love the lyrics. For me, I refer to the lyrics as simplistic profundity. That's my phrase. When something is so simple that it's right in front of you, but we overcomplicate it, I think that it nails it in these lyrics. So I asked Al late last night, and we're going to sing it together. Do I have it? Huh? Oh, it's on the screen. Oh, got it. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be free. Find yourself, open your eyes to see. We can all have everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. Thank you. Thank you for bearing with my morning voice. Thank you. Okay. When do we do the affirmations? Because, David, do we do the affirmations now? No. I'll be back. Thank you.
Reverend Katelyn, everybody. She leaves us on an up note, but in the midst of the talk about the trauma and the difficulties we have with other people, I don't know about y'all, but I was remembering experiences, like that, and they can be tough. But then you wrapped it up with all you need is love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that isn't made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you you can know that isn't known, and nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. Nothing to be done that you can't do, and no one you can meet who isn't you. Nowhere you can go that isn't part of all. You know it's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Woo. Yep.
Okay. Can I have the ushers come forward, please? We have one. They multiply. Okay, so this is an opportunity for the offering. I always speak about time, talent, and treasures being what we have to give. Today, we're seeking the monetary expression of love, and we invite you to serve in a multitude of capacities that we have available here at services, to share your time and your talent as well. So we bless these offerings, and I'm going to ask you to place your hands over your heart now. And so as we rest into this regenerative, causative source known as gratitude, I rest in the knowing that this causative energy has gone before and guaranteed that the gifts that are brought forth today in the way of monetary expression are all that is needed and infinitely more in the mind of God to sustain and support and allow this rich community to thrive even further. I bless these tithes and these offerings, and I release my word into law, knowing that God's idea is infinitely greater than anything we can wrap our minds around. I know this, I trust this, and I celebrate it, and we let it be. Thank you.
Thank you for giving. Thank you for receiving. And thank you for being who you are. Thank you for breathing. Thank you for believing. And thank you for being who you are. The universe is flowing with love that's ever growing. And you are a vessel of that love. So thank you for caring, and bless you for your sharing, and thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being who you are. Who you are.
So I rest in the knowing that God's grace has provided divine sustenance today for all of us. That we've heard what we needed to hear, we've felt what we needed to feel, and we're going to step out into the world and express God as love in all that we endeavor. I bless our tithes, knowing that they are a manifestation of this abundant love. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Okay. David's going to show us an affirmation up on the screen again. So I'd like you to repeat things after me, because I really can't read it from here, just saying. I'm like, okay, here we go. Everybody, are you clear? Are you anchored in what's been said today? Yes? Okay, are you standing strong in it? Okay, here we go. The I am that I am. On the journey of transformation, okay, I went through the fire and was not burned, for I am the fire. I soared high into the air and I did not tumble, for I am the air. I walked on the water and I did not sink, for I am the water. I traveled to the ends of the earth and I was not lost, for I am the earth. Is it all there? I am that I am. You can repeat after me. I am that I am, one with divine truth. And therefore, spiritual discernment is mine to access by right of divine inheritance. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
I used to think I'd always be alone, separate, misunderstood. I spend my days in quiet desperation, but on the outside, things looked good. Then I discovered the error of my thinking, the lie at the base of all my fears. So simple that it turned my world around. Oh, why did it take so many years? Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. How about you? I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open, wide open. There is no separation, no matter what it looks like. There is no separation, no matter what they say. No separation except what I imagine. And I imagine separation's gone away. Now I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I am loving with my heart wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am walking with my eyes wide open. I am knowing with my mind wide open. I can't hear you. There you go.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We're going to bless you out real quick, I swear. 3, 2, 1. Al, you may exit if you need to. Okay, so Joe's going to start the prayer and I'll finish it up. Go ahead. You have to end with a blessing.
How good it is to know, to be here today, to celebrate in this truth, in this knowingness of this power, this presence that blesses us all here in the sanctuary, and to go in this lessons learned today by this wonderful message, this wonderful sermon delivered by Reverend Katelyn. How grateful I am in this knowingness, and walking away in this takeaway today, such power behind those words, and I'm just grateful, and I pass my word to Reverend Katelyn.
And so knowing that there's nothing left to be said, that God has got this in spades, I know that as we walk out today, we are fully rooted in the human experience, available for it all, hearts wide open and, yes, vulnerable. And that simultaneous to that rooting, we are elevated from a place of the utmost high that allows us to spiritually discern truth in every unfolding moment with grace and ease, because that truth is ours to claim by right of divine inheritance. I celebrate this knowing, I release my word, and together we say, and so it is. Namaste. Amen.